Oh, what the fuck is up, gamers? Welcome to episode number 34 of the Great Ace Attorney. Let me go ahead and select my adventure here. And let's go ahead and do the Hound of the Baskervilles. The Adventure of the Unspeakable Story. Damn, I can pick where I start? I didn't realize that was like an option. That's crazy. Let me let this play. Let me go grab a drink. Hold on, I'll be right back.
It's coming! Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited breathlessly in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed
Now I'm gonna keep it real with you. I know absolutely
until,
fuck all.
at last, it appeared.
That's a soda. I know absolutely fuck
From
all
the
nothing
shadows
about
of the
this.
cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was.
But I think I'm gonna end up having to put this shit out because I know I gotta do. What is it? What is this one? Like Thursday? Like Thursday and Saturday, and I think it's just gonna upload everything from there.
Its rumbling.
Hopefully this is actually good.
So terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear.
Like, hopefully this is an enjoyable experience.
Look well, Wilson, Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. For this is the diabolical hound of the Baskervilles.
The Hound of the Baskervilles. Alright, fuck it. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in London. And in Sozeki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. Here we got a nice little cozy office. That's crazy. That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone... Are we, like, up in the attic? Why are we hearing that? Susanoo-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Susanoo-san?
Yes! Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see, what case is it today?
I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I?
Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me.
But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning, so shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite?
Yes! Iris makes the most delicious breakfast foods.
She does, doesn't she?
And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. Let me see, what case is it today?
There we go again. Will she do this often? Let's converse with her. Tell me about this fucking telegram. So what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean.
Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, bitch, tell me. Spill the beans. Sorry, you're not gonna get away with that.
Well, I didn't think I would. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing interesting, boring in fact. It was just a boring old telegram.
That's 3 times now she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing.
I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point.
Alright, I understand. It's not a big deal. You want to tell me what's going on with Sozeki-san, though? Suppose Sozeki-san will finally have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he?
Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or just be a few days away.
A fortnight ago, we had that very long telegram from him. Do you remember, complaining of seasickness? But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well.
Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san?
I was just wondering, what might have become of Sozeki-san had he stayed in London, that's all.
You mean, as regards Lord Van Zeeks, the Reaper?
Yeah, I can't help but wondering if seasickness would have paled in insignificance to that case. Let's talk about the Reaper. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be safe from the Reaper, right? Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. That was nuts. They didn't need to do that.
Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery.
Yeah, but at least Sozeki-san's safely out of the country now. Presumably that means...
That the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps?
Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. Yeah, he probably is fucking dead. That's what the telegram says, he died.
If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself.
Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants.
No, I don't think so. Apparently Lord Van Zieks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter.
Oh?
Yeah, since Sozeki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems.
Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So it's just me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials then? Ugh, just my luck.
I wonder if luck doesn't come into it.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
Alright, well, I think it's about time for us to go eat fucking lunch. Or breakfast, not lunch, my bad. I had lunch, I had O'Donnell's. God, my arms itch.
Morning, Runo. Morning, Susie. Good morning, Iris.
What is the shitty ass music?
Um,
Iris.
What is it, Runo?
What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled.
Ah, yes. You noticed that, did you?
Damn, he got a gun?
Hurley isn't in his best form this morning, it seems.
Well, now you fucking hurt his feelings.
Hello.
What is this?
Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
Good morning. Oh God.
A good morning to die, perhaps.
Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before.
My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Damn this blanched existence. That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble.
Shit. Oh shit. Oh look. It's... Well, guy. Alright, bro.
Good morning, boy.
Must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did it get here? How did it get here? Isn't that what's his name's cat?
Well then, everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. Ugh, it would indeed be a fine day to die.
I knew some looked different. He's not wearing his hat! He lost his hat! Something missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. He lost his hat, poor buddy. Let me, converse. Wanting to die. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened?
It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its mellowest sonnet tones would make flowers bloom.
It would.
But now the muses aren't amused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I've endeavoured to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone, gone forever. No more recitals of unbridled emotion. Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley?
Don't worry, I'm sure it'll come back to you in time.
Heed my words, Mr. Norohodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they may bestow genius on a man, the next they unmercifully withdraw it.
Oh dear.
Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left, for pity's sake? What is left?
Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? The missing machine. Yeah, what are you missing?
Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but your desk looks rather empty today.
Ah, well done, Miss Sizzleto. Your observational skills do you credit.
Oh no, Mr. Sholmes, they pale into insignificance when compared to yours.
You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you?
You mean Hurley's great analytoscope? That's at Windibanks now.
Sorry, it's at a windy bank?
No, Windibanks, the pawnbrokery.
Pawn?
What?
You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours?
It had some considerable value, you see, quite undeservingly.
But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you'd consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you.
Dear madam, things are far from desperate.
But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate?
Making use of the pawnbrokeries are quite extraordinary here in London, I assure you.
It doesn't sound ordinary at all.
It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works.
Oh, what's to understand exactly? Yeah, tell me about this pawnbroking. What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works?
To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks.
Banks?
On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they're able to trade happily through the week.
And then on Saturday, they go recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us.
That sounds dangerous. What if you can't buy it back?
Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London.
And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn should the need arise.
Oh, how ingenious. So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windibanks, you see?
A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault.
Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain?
Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley?
What does it matter? The world is dead to me now.
Well, let me just, was it B&M? What an area. Can we have breakfast now? Well, guy. Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home then.
Oh yes, and I've become very attached to little Waggy.
It would appear his previous owners completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfailing creatures. Their muse is empty as the hearts of the muses.
If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place.
I expect he would have taken him if he could, but pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience.
And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. Well, I don't mind, because Waggy's adorable.
Yeah, he really is. Oh, yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where'd that come from?
Oh, you notice? You're very observant, Rudo. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention.
What is that?
I call it the Cat Floppomat. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right. It can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see.
Wouldn't it have been quicker to just make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap?
Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps wherever I like. Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door in our upstairs office, Iris.
She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl.
Hee hee hee. Oh, what was that?
What guy? Did she fuck up our breakfast?
What was that? Oh no! Well, guy, he's tangled up in your violin! I think he thinks it's a toy!
No, what's he doing to it?
Oh dear, Mr. Sholmes' precious violin.
Why should I care? What?
I shouldn't be surprised if the cat's a more accomplished musician than I know.
Alright, bro.
Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley?
Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Hey, where'd you put it? Oh my god. Click it. This is the violin, is it?
It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari.
Oh, I see. It doesn't really look like anything special to me.
I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down in a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings.
How honourable of you.
And until today, it's been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I've made.
Dear God. That was painful.
I ask you, is there reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this blanched existence? No! There is none!
Mr. Sholmes?
What, dear madam, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine.
Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, do you think?
What do you mean, Mrs. Otto?
Oh, Susie's right! Yes, the tone of wood's completely different! And that's not all, I'm sure there was no crack here before.
Wait, it's not even the right size, is it?
What's this?
The fuck is it?
I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't the violin at all.
Then what?
I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola.
What? Oh,
Mr. Sholmes, are you alright?
You're right, you're quite right. This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of string flotsam?
Not your faithful performing partner, then.
I see what must have happened.
You do, Iris?
This is just a simple mix-up.
Sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. Oh, is that a hint to go talk to her? What's up, girl? Oh, did he pawn it and get the wrong instrument? What do you mean by a mix-up, Iris?
Well, you see, this viola, I mean, was at Windibanks until last week.
Ah, at the pawnbrokers. Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner.
There's a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel.
Yes, indeed.
So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in hopes that it would experience personal growth?
Oh, what a wonderful idea.
Last week I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument, but it would appear Mr. Windibank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber.
No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings.
Pshaw! A fine state of affairs this is, and why I always say, Mr. Norohodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time.
But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbrokery as an extremely secure vault.
That means somebody's probably got his fucking violin.
Come, Mr. Norohodo, dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry, crunching your toast with that vacant aspect, pressing your coffery so obtrusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced?
We must visit Mr. Windibank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes?
Precisely, Mrs. Otto, without a moment's delay.
But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs.
My dear fellow, surely you do not intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect? To frost your eggs ever more obtusely?
Alright, say no more, let's go then.
Don't worry, Bruno. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later.
Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker's looks like. Alright, fuck it, let's go. Oh, what the hell? Why can't I go to Baker Street? Just go straight there. Go straight there, fuck it. What a lovely place. They really put a lot into designing these areas. So this is a British pawnbroker.
Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions here I've never even laid eyes on before.
Ah, Susato-san, and that sparkle of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this.
Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill to me.
My dear fellows, let us not forget why we're here.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
We're calling on matters of business, not pleasure.
And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the sparks of fury in his eyes.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, sir! Welcome back! Did you hear that brazen welcome?
Well, yes, we are potential customers after all.
We're disgruntled customers, Mr. Norohodo, and it's time to inform Mr. Winterbank of our ire. Come, your fight is afoot!
Oh.
Naturally, you'll recall this, which I retrieved from you 7 days ago.
Yes.
Your second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Winterbank. The colour of the wood's different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size.
A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm so sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There's only one way to make amends.
Damn. Damn. Oh my god! Whoa! Oh!
I shall have to take my own life.
Ain't no way he's considering it.
I don't think that will be necessary, do you?
Let me just say one thing before I pop off.
Yes.
It was you, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe.
Sorry?
As I recall, I encountered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, "Ah, here it is."
You did.
And when I turned to controvert you, you'd taken the viola and left, sir. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me.
No, stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine.
Oh my god. He was just looking for a reason.
It would appear that the fight is over.
He was just looking for a reason.
I do humbly apologise, Mr. Winterbank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. Jesus, I had it.
Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition now, would you?
I do believe you may be right, sir.
It's either laugh or cry, I suppose.
You are, must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I need to remind you of the peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past.
Oh, peculiar items.
In the extreme, ma'am, for example, the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes or some such.
Oh my, a new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I've yet to read, you mean?
Ah! Forgive me.
Wait, before you die, you must tell me more!
He's just looking for a reason. Oh my god.
I must know more. Tell me everything.
Oh, Suzato sounds really fired up now.
Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof?
Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see.
I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Winterbank.
Protest like that. 1 shilling, sir, not a farthing more.
It is something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
I beg your pardon, a manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript?
Indeed I do, for I'm confident it will be quite safe here.
That was that! As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom.
Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this? I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely.
Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you, on my life.
This is all very strange. This is weird. How about you tell me about the pawnbrokery? I wonder, can I ask you something?
Our gentleman from the East, I see. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you sixpence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull.
Sorry?
Well, splendid attire, ma'am. 5 guineas, no less. The colours are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern artist at its finest, may I say.
Oh my, 5 guineas you say? Yeah, let me just get fucking naked, I get.
What the fuck?
How interesting.
Why is he offering the clothes off our backs? What I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here. Actually, I was hoping to ask about your business. I heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London.
Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize this establishment as you describe, and appraise the items and offer them a proportionate loan in 2 months of secure stowage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned.
But what happens if they don't pay you the money?
Then the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see in the shelves behind me.
So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed then?
That's right, ma'am, that's right!
What did he say?
Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all.
The very idea, Mr. Winterbank, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one demise so casually. There's a man who was telling us it was a good day to die only this morning. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs. Oh, what sort of measures? I engineered a simple device which Mr. Winterbank has installed here in this shop. I call it the red-handed recorder. Is that so? Is that not so, Mr. Winterbank?
Ah!
What's that deep sigh about? Tell me about the recorder, man. What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are two just below the ceiling. Oh, it's a camera.
I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device.
Very astute. It's indeed a camera furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop.
Here, I have an example I can show you.
Oh, it's a dog! Ah yes, a print from the camera set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive, it produces a crystal clear image even in the darkness. Really? That's extraordinary.
Yeah, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it, look.
It's 4 a.m. So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed.
But did you not say the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals?
Indeed, as you say, my dear madam.
Then what if the incident were to occur in between times?
One could only say that would be a cruel twist of fate.
I must confess your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Winterbank. Surely they're anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word.
It's the course of the film, sir. You must graciously place not 1 but 2 cameras in my shop after all, which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older.
Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery, no? My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price.
Oh, heaven help us! Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin.
Yeah, that's not even fucking close. Oh my god.
Oh, the very thing! Thank you, Mr. Winterbank.
Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you try to pop, Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer!
I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone can get hurt.
Fair not!
Sorry?
I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed.
It's really not what I meant.
Good day to you then, Mr. Winterbank.
It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Solms.
Bro.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last.
Yeah, I'm gonna save the game. I'm gonna save the game and end it here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.